Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. I got a ton of them. Let's jump into it. Alicia. This dude's got Alicia 1, 2, 3, about to be 4 times. Not to mention he's got the lips of what I'm gonna guess is Alicia. Look, if the only way you can prove your love to your girlfriend is by tattooing half of your face with her name, I think it might be safe to say there's some problems in the relationship. Don't know what they are. Definitely not the move. This takes kitty whipped to a whole new level. This dude is lost in the sauce, dude. This guy can't get Alicia off his mind. There is no love in the world that compares to Alicia. She's got the good. She's got the wop. Like, this is the best. I'm sorry, you get Alicia 4 times, I get to talk about how good it is. Okay? How many times do you think Alicia has tattooed Javier on her face? I don't actually know if his name's Javier, but I imagine it's Javier. Yeah, Javier, do better. Someone wrote that to me once. They were like, do better. And I said, this is as good as I'm gonna do. This is as good as Javier's ever gonna do. Sorry, bud, bad tattoo, awful, next. Okay, good versus bad fine line.
How to tell the difference between fine line tattoos that'll age like this versus fine line tattoos that'll age like this. The type of fine line that heals really poorly looks like this when it's fresh. You can see the blue hue behind all of the letters. The lines are thick and dark. If you see a tattoo artist posting their fine line work and it looks like this, run.
Okay, so right off the bat, yes, I know exactly what she's saying, but these are probably just bad examples of tattooing fine line designs. This is multiple different problems. 1, these designs should not be as small as they are. And 2, the outlines look like garbage. Okay, so yes, I agree. At this point, I agree. I don't want to, and I'm gonna find a reason not to agree, but right now I agree.
This is an example of a really good, fresh fine line tattoo. This is not healed, but you can see how crisp those lines are, how clean, consistent. It doesn't look like it was like dug into the skin. Those are the kind of tattoos that heal like this. When you get a...
So that was the point that I wanted to point out. From a distance, these do look like clean, consistent lines. If you got up on those outlines, I'm pretty sure, not positive, you're gonna see a lot of like little shakiness, okay? That is kind of like when you really want a fine line tattoo, that might happen quite a bit. Like if you pull out a tight 3 or a single, God willing, some idiot does that, yeah, you're gonna see a lot of shakiness when you zoom in on it. The first person's tattoos, like the word in the flower, that's someone who's really worried about, I mean, they're just going to Pound Town. So yeah, those are bad tattoos. Let's keep going.
But those lines are how clean, consistent. It doesn't look like it was like dug into the skin. Those are the kind of tattoos that heal like this. When you get a properly done fine line tattoo, it pretty much looks the same from day one. For example, I got a tattoo on my shoulder recently. This is how it looked when it was fresh. Now that it's healed, you can see pretty much nothing has changed. The only difference is that it's not as dark of a black anymore, but none of the lines are blown out. Unfortunately though, it's not always going to be as obvious on if an artist is good at fine line or not. Maybe if you were scrolling past your feed and you saw something like this, you'd think it was okay. But if you look closer at this big branch right here and how these sparkles were done, you can tell that this tattoo is blown out and it will not heal well over time. My biggest tip to you is look for healed work on the artist page or ask them directly.
I can't disagree. I want to find a reason. Some of this information is pretty good. Like that little stem thing doesn't look like it's gonna heal very well. Here's my biggest qualm with all of this. What she's describing as healing good for a fine line tattoo, a lot of times is fading away. Like that is a very thin line between falling away forever and looking good forever. And what you're really looking for is like this very delicate line that is hard to pull off. So I like that she's trying to educate people on like what a fine line tattoo is, but I really wish she was just kind of like more honest and being like, hey, the difference between like a really delicate, perfect looking fine line tattoo and a blown out one and one that falls away is like right there. Right there. It's not a forgiving style. It's not a forgiving tattoo style. And anyone who specializes in fine line tattoos, I think would be capable to tell you like, sometimes it's hit or miss. Like you want to put in a bold traditional 7, which isn't a bold tradition, it was a joke. It was kind of a joke. A bold traditional 5. There you go. It's a kind of me goofing. That's not exactly a bold line. It's somewhere in between. If you put that in properly, most people can do it pretty easily. It's not like a hard thing to do. But once you pull out a 3 and you're like, I want it to look delicate, but still in there, it's like super hard to pull off. You're walking on a razor thin, like good to bad ratio thing. So I guess that's my part. Like there's just like, I wish it was just like, it's not a perfect science. There's probably a lot of bad examples out there, more than the good ones. Next.
It is a tough time to start tattooing. My advice would be 2 things. Don't start unless you've already started like your art journey. If you're starting with the intention of learning art through tattooing, it's not gonna go well for you. There's very few people that start tattooing as like a bad artist and then end up being a good artist. Unless you're gonna be one of the best, you're probably gonna struggle. There's so many other people with a machine off of Amazon that are trying to work right now, and they're doing little bangers and like little scripts and walking.
Okay, my advice to young tattooers who are getting in the game, I think that that's what this question has. There's part of me just like disagrees with this guy, but not really. I can't pinpoint it exactly. That is kind of like the name of the game today. I'm like, there's something there, but I'm just like not fully committed to everything they're saying. Look, my advice to young tattooers is if you're going to be great, be great. But even that, I just think if you're gonna get into tattooing, I think the commitment level to tattooing has to be higher than it ever had to be. That's all. I think that that's kind of what he's saying for sure. Like the commitment to tattooing is going to have to be higher than it ever had to be in the last 50 years. Like you are going to have to put in work on the skill side, which is kind of different. Like before you had to just be like a tough dude. 50 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years, 20 years ago, you just had to be tough. Like in order to get into the game, you just had to be able to withstand the bruteness of being in a tattoo shop. You had to be tough. Now, you just have to take that same energy and be the best. I see this a lot in tattooing where people are like discussing the good tattooers to the bad tattooers, and even I've been caught up in it a little bit. But I think that if you want to get into tattooing, it's not about being better than anybody else. It's just like, it's gonna be hard to eat. So you better try your hardest to get as good at tattooing as possible, or else this isn't gonna work out for you, you know? I see a lot of people being like, well, you also had to market. And I say, maybe you do have to learn how to market yourself, but more so than anything else, you just gotta get good at tattooing. And then you'll eat forever. Yeah, marketing, I don't know. I don't even wanna get into that part. I will say this one part. People who say that you have to market in order to be a good tattooer miss this one point, is that marketing trends come up and down constantly. So you better hope for just one good trend in your tattoo career in the marketing side to keep you good forever, because like you're just never gonna be able to compete and be a full-time tattooer. That's my piece of advice. Just try and be good at tattooing. Don't try and follow trends and be a marketing genius guy, because it doesn't work. Every time someone says that, I'm like, you suck at marketing. On to the next.
You guys are wondering why my arm ripped open, because Punisher ripped my arm open. Felt like pain in my ass. Morgan, give the Punisher what he deserves. Yep, that's what he deserves.
This is one of the best things on the internet. There's nothing here. Hey, if you think I'm gonna make fun, you're an idiot. I would never make fun. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in tattoo TikTok form thing ever. He is so sweet. This is why we do it. This is why we do it. This is everything good about tattoo. The smile on this guy's face, the love he has for this tattoo, I just love it. Everything about it. Let's watch it one more time. You're gonna have to watch it. You're going to have to watch it. Let's do it.
Wondering why my arm ripped open, because Punisher ripped my arm open. Felt like pain in my ass. Morgan, give the Punisher what he deserves. Yep, that's what he deserves.
This is the most wholesome, amazing thing I've seen on the internet ever. That's it. That's it. That's all I gotta say. On to the next.
The fact that some tattoo artists make as much as doctors should tell you that being a tattoo artist, just like being a doctor, is...
I I have no idea what this comment says. They are making at least 50% of that. And that's more than a doctor on hourly makes, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess that what they're talking about is like drops. So it's like how much you make an hour, then minus, 50% would be like what you give to the shop. No one gives 50%. Very rarely do people give 50%. So it's like, oh, this person's making whatever. What the fuck is that? Taco Man's got stupid music playing. And it's not even good. It's like real bad. I hope no one eats their tacos today. Just kidding. Just kidding. Tattoo artists make as much as doctors. Let me see this lady.
Tattoo artists make as much as doctors should tell you that being a tattoo artist, just like being a doctor, is a specialty skill that requires time, energy, money, investment, sacrifice, blood, sweat, tears, all of that. People spend their money on what they deem worthy to spend their money on. And if people didn't think getting tattoos was worth it, they wouldn't be getting tattoos. And when someone makes a comment like this, it hits a place in me that I've been hearing my whole life as an artist, which is like, anyone can be an artist. You're just making art. You're just making art. I'm making a damn good living.
It's funny what triggers certain people. And I'm not like saying that to be a dick or anything like that. It's just funny that that's what triggers people. Because for every person that's like, oh, you're just an artist doing your little thing, there's at least, especially now, the same amount of people who are like, oh, I love tattoos. I want to talk about that. There's a ton, okay? I find it so goofy. We're tattooers, dude. We're not doctors. There's a huge difference between tattooers and doctors. They're not equal skill set. I am sorry. Like, I don't know who the hell needs to hear this, but the idea that a doctor and a tattooer are on an equal playing field as far as like what the end results are is insane to me, okay? Like, just get your head out of your ass. Like, there's no way in a million years that you can tell me that, like, just on a practical level, what the results of a doctor and what the results of a tattoo artist are doing the same thing. Like, there's so many ways. Tattooing is amazing. Artists are amazing. We're doing this beautiful thing. I'm not trying to belittle it. I'm just saying we're not the same thing as doctors. Keep going.
Just making art. And I think that pisses some people off because a lot of artists like me, we don't have this like math science brain that would launch us into a fucking medical field. But instead we're in art and people look at that and go, oh, it looks so like frivolous and it looks so easy. Why are you making so much money? Because we're good. And because people want good tattoos. Some people in our society say being a doctor is worth this.
I also think there are a ton of artists who make so much money. People are not unaware of this. I don't know what this conversation is really about. I'm just nitpicking like these weird things that I'm like, what are we talking about? Look, doctors save people's lives, or they at least make their lives significantly better in the worst days of their lives, right? They're sick, they're miserable, go to a doctor, they make you a little better. Now you could say like, oh yeah, well, I was really depressed when I was getting tattooed and this really helped heal me. Like, great. I was really depressed and I needed a tattoo and it really helped me get out of the funk. Perfect. Not the same thing, right? Similar, not the same thing. But people are pretty aware that artists not only deserve to make a lot of money, but can make a lot of money. Like in any other field, we're very comfortable with people making money as tattooers. So I'm always like, I don't know. I just like the conversation of tattooers talking about their finances. I go, okay, like no one cares anymore. You know, tattooers can make a lot of money. They could also go broke. It's all the same shit. I don't know. I got no more empathy for any of it. I also don't care about it that much. Like, tattooers should make the money that they can make. That's it. That's all I care about.
And because people want good tattoos. Some people in our society say being a doctor is worth this much money, this much prestige, this label, this amount of power and esteem, yada, yada, yada. But being a tattoo artist isn't, and therefore your wage should reflect that. But unfortunately, it doesn't. Unfortunately for you, if you're not making doctor money, you don't like that.
I don't even get this statement. I don't get any of it. You're a tattooer. We're tattooers. It's not that big of a deal. I don't know anymore. Tattooers don't have this like royal stick that we carry. I don't know. I don't even know what the conversation was about. I'm confused. I'm just gonna go leave it there because I'm like, dumb, stupid. When I'm bored, then I remember I have a tat gun. Something about this lining up with the last video that I just talked about makes me die of happiness inside. I go, oh yeah, we're so prestigious. Look at that, look at that. Some idiot kid could do it in their dorm room. Like, oh yeah, we're so prestigious. I love tattooing. I think tattooing is a magical, important thing, and it deserves way more credit than it ever gets, blah, 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 blah. But also, tattooing is doing just fine. Like, you want to get laid as a young dude, go tell that girl you're a tatter. You know, like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's not this like, oh, you're a tattooer? No. You're like, I make money being a tattooer. You're going to be fine, okay? To me now, sometimes I'm embarrassed saying that I'm a tattooer. It almost feels like, sometimes as a tattooer, I go to like a family function and I'm like, oh, I'm a tattooer or whatever. They know I'm a tattooer and they're like, oh, my best friend, like he's a tattooer now. And I'm like, oh, where does he work? And they go like, oh, he works out of his house. And I go, oh yeah, he's such a tattooer. We're so prestigious. I don't know. I don't even know what any of this has. I can't even connect the dots. All I got is that tattooing is important. Tattooing is equally not that important. Love you all. Love you both. Love them both. This is how dumb it is. Next. Rest in peace to my fine line tattoo I got in 2017. Wow, that healed up awful. That healed up super bad. Now it's a fat blob on my ankle. Yes. What we're talking about with fine line is that, you know, sometimes it heals up great. That line, dude, of a nice looking fine line tattoo versus a bad one it's razor thin. It's so thin in comparison to any other tattoo style I see. A lot of times you see tattoos looking good and then they're not. You know, it's like 50-50 sometimes. Like, ooh, razor thin. And that's like the thing, when you see a nice fine line tattoo, you're like, dang, that was put in really well, really solid. And then you see it healed and you're like, not looking great, okay? Very thin. You know what I think my point is with all of the last little bit of conversation? I think it's simple. Just like this, like fine line tattoos are either like too bold or they're too fine and they're like, it's a real thin margin between like what's good and what's bad. I feel that about tattooing and like tattooers. Like tattooers taking themselves too seriously and tattooers not taking themselves seriously enough. Like it's a line and it's very hard to find a balance between it. That's how I feel. Like a lot of the times I've talked to tattooers who like, you know, like they just need to get their little heady out their ass, you know? Like it's just like they're a little too rock star-ian, right? Like that's obviously been said a lot in tattoos, like, oh, you think you're a rock star. And then also there's like another line where it's like, yeah, you're just like some dumb kid in a room not taking this seriously. Like it's a thin line. It's a thin line. And I think what's best is that like, hey, you take this seriously. You know that like you can make money and you can make a solid living doing tattooing. But also, come on, we're still just tattooers. When did you become rock stars? I don't know. When the internet told you you were. Actually, that's exactly the point. That's the exact point when people thought they were rock stars is when the internet told them they were. And I'm like, I'm on the internet. All it tells me is that I'm a jabroni doing tats, dude. That's all we are. So yeah, on to the next. Now this guy is a rock star. No, I'm just kidding. Han Tattoo. I don't know what I was thinking when I pulled this guy's thing out. It wasn't like anything popped out to me except for this was a very beautiful tattoo. It just looks rock solid and I just wanted to look at it some more, I guess. Like look at that. Look at those scales. It looks like it's a blast over, a cover up. He's using black, dark gray, light gray, a little bit of white, but it's still like, I think, a gray tone on there. That's how you're covering up? Beautiful. Just beautiful. That's all I got. That's all I got. Just a little Han Tattoo Hanoi. Linoy? Lihan? Lihan. Yeah, beautiful. Underscore Lihan. Next. Okay. She says, almost healed. Not too much tattoo bomb. Not too little tattoo bomb. Placement, my guys. My guys and my girls. There's a placement thing here. Obviously, you know, she got a thicker chin. I don't necessarily think putting a butterfly or a moth under the chin is the choice. It almost seems like you're highlighting something that, I don't know. Like, I think that if this was like, just like a beautiful tattoo of a butterfly on the side of her neck, I'd be like, yeah, that's very nice. Something about this placement. There's a placement problem. I can't pinpoint it. You can't pinpoint it. It just doesn't look right. She seems very sweet. I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't really know what the I don't know. Maybe if the camera was down a little bit, maybe it looks better. If I was looking, I don't think that's the move. Nah. I hope she's happy with it. I'm sure she is. She looks very happy with it. There's a placement problem to me. I'm looking at the comments currently. Everyone's kind of putting out this like type of meme, and I feel the same. Let me say what the meanest thing I possibly can say. You have a double chin and you're putting something underneath it. So it's kind of like in this weird place, right? That's the mean thing I want to say. That still can work in a lot of cases. That's not where I'm having trouble saying what the problem is. That is what you're thinking. That is what everyone in the comments is thinking. I get it. She's got a big, thick neck. That's not normally a problem with a lot of tattoos. There's something about this, you know, like you having to show the tattoo like this for it to be good. That's my problem. You know, and obviously she has more chin than most people. And so like it's gonna be sticking down a little bit. I get that. Don't think for a second I'm not willing to say what most people are thinking. Something else. Like if you're gonna put this butterfly here, maybe put it a little bit lower so that you could see the butterfly when you're having a conversation like this, rather than having to go like, because it's like right here, having to do this to see it. There's some problem there and it doesn't look good. Maybe I'm wrong because maybe she's filming like this. It actually looks very nice, but she just isn't showing it, but I don't think it is. On to the next. A tattoo, I normally am not gonna say great things about, but it looks great. I love it. Like kind of weird, kind of funky placement. I don't know. I like it. I'm in. Crown of thorns that go like underneath I wouldn't normally think that this looks good. That looks great to me. I think he looks tough as snails, just ready to get in a Viking battle with some, I don't know, well, who do Vikings fight? The Christians, I think. I feel like I want to see Vikings versus Moroccans. Don't know why. Did they ever fight? I'm sure that they fought. That would be cool. I'm in for that. Let's watch that battle go on. On to the next.
Did it change your mind about Zach if you had known he had an incredible eagle tattoo across his chest?
A business tat. He's got a massive one.
It's an eagle tat?
Yeah.
There's an eagle tattoo.
You want,
All the way across. You want to show him?
You gonna take my shirt off?
Yeah, dump him out.
Just flash him.
It's nothing crazy. We all got a couple tattoos.
He always says that. That's
Right?
not true. I mean, it is in this room, but not all rooms. You could be like, we all got a couple tattoos.
And I apologize for the build there.
I'm just gonna say that if you're gonna take credit for having a big eagle tattoo, you better get it finished, dude. When I saw it, I was like, oh, no, dude. No, you gotta get it finished. You look like a chump to anybody who knows anything about tattoos. Get that finished. I don't know. Seeing unfinished tattoos is kind of like, I know that a lot of you guys have unfinished tattoos. It's kind of just the name of the game. A lot of tattooed people have unfinished tattoos. You look like a little bitch to me. I don't know. Do I have anything unfinished? Nope. You know why? Because I don't feel like a little bitch to me. Okay? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. Go get your tattoos finished. You got a tattoo that's unfinished? Go get it finished. That's how it feels to me. I'm like, meh, go get it finished. I'll see you in a few days. You better have that tattoo finished or I don't want to talk to you. Just kidding. Like and subscribe and tell me how great I am. Thanks.